Hey guys, welcome to Recipe Hippie. So today we're going to be making 3 Mediterranean diet breakfast recipes. I used to struggle a lot with figuring out healthy breakfasts to make because it's the time of day where you're rushing around, you're trying to get a million things done, and if you have kids it's even more stressful. So we're going to start with matcha overnight oats with lemon. This recipe is really easy to make. It all just gets thrown into a jar or a bowl. You mix it together and you let it sit in the fridge overnight or for a few hours, and then you can serve it with granola or fresh berries on top. Matcha is really good for you, so this is one of my favorite recipes to make right now. Next, we're gonna make raspberry chia pudding. I use frozen raspberries and I throw them into a blender and mix them with chia seeds, and the chia seeds absorb all of that liquid overnight. And in the morning you can serve them with granola again or fresh berries, and it's really, really good. And next we're gonna make shakshuka. This is a really easy shakshuka recipe. And shakshuka is basically poaching eggs in a tomato mixture with a bunch of vegetables and spices. And it's really, really tasty and super healthy for you. As always, I will link all of these recipes on my blog, recipehippie.com, in the description of this video. All right, let's get started. So we are going to start with matcha overnight oats. In this recipe, we pair the earthy flavor of matcha with bright and citrusy lemon and sweet honey. The process of making matcha involves growing the leaves in shade, and this lack of direct sunlight increases chlorophyll production and boosts the amino acid content. It helps to fight disease and enhance brain function. So we're going to mix together 1 cup of rolled oats, 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, 1.5 teaspoons of matcha powder, 1/4 cup of plain Greek yogurt or any vegan alternative, 1.5 teaspoons of honey or a sweetener of choice, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 tablespoons of fresh squeezed lemon juice, 1 teaspoon of lemon zest, and 1 cup of milk of choice. I also like to add flaxseed meal if I have it. Mix it up really well, and then you can leave it in the mason jar and place a lid or plastic wrap on it, or transfer it to individual serving bowls or cups. You want to refrigerate it for at least 2 hours and up to 4 days. So a few tips. Matcha does have a shelf life, so you typically want to use your matcha within 2 months after opening it. Also, don't over-zest the lemon because matcha is already bitter, and if you get any of the white pith under the yellow part of the lemon when zesting, it'll add more bitter flavor to your overnight oats. So next we're going to make raspberry chia pudding. Frozen fruit is blended and omega-3 rich chia seeds are soaked in the fruit overnight. It takes about 5 minutes to make, and you can use a variety of different fruits. So we're going to add 3/4 cup of frozen raspberries to a blender with 1/2 cup of whatever milk you want to use. Blend it on high for at least 60 seconds until the fruit is pureed. Pour the pureed fruit into a large bowl and mix it with 1/4 cup of chia seeds. At this point, you can pour the chia mixture into individual mason jars or 1 large bowl. I like the large bowl because the mixture expands a little bit. Cover and refrigerate overnight and up to 3 days. Divide the chia pudding between 2 mason jars, layering each serving with pudding, plain Greek yogurt, and optional granola or berries. Sometimes I like to repeat this process with another fruit like blueberries or strawberries, and layering the different colors. As for toppings, you can add granola, nuts, nut butters, chocolate chips, shredded coconut, cacao nibs, or spices like cinnamon. One tip that is similar to matcha is chia seeds do go bad, so if your chia seeds have been sitting in your pantry for a long time, you may want to replace them. What will happen is the chia pudding won't gel and thicken very well. Next, we're going to make a super easy shakshuka recipe. So we start by adding extra virgin olive oil to a pan and tossing in some chopped veggies. This day I had bell peppers and onions in my fridge, so that's what I used, but you can use whatever you have on hand. Once that's sauteed for about 5 minutes, you want to toss in your spices. I used 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, and 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. Add 1 15-ounce can of diced tomatoes and bring that to a simmer. Begin making wells with a wooden spoon and cracking eggs into those wells. You can use as many eggs as you want, and once you get all of the eggs into the pan, you want to cover the pan with a lid. Lower the heat to medium and cook until the desired doneness of the eggs is achieved. I like to check it with a fork, and you can see here that the whites are still a little bit runny, so I ended up cooking it for a total of 5 minutes. I usually try to have a bit of a runny yolk. Sprinkle with chopped herbs like parsley or basil and serve immediately. I really enjoy this breakfast on a piece of toasted sourdough. I will link my recipe for this in the description. This dish is super versatile, so the recipe on my blog is a little bit different from this specific recipe, but I encourage you to play around with it and use what you have on hand. Alright guys, so that's it. I really hope that you enjoyed these recipes. I make them all the time because they're so easy. They take like, 5 minutes to throw together, and then you leave them in the fridge overnight, and then the shakshuka takes maybe 20 minutes. It's really not bad. And they're all really healthy for you. So I hope that you enjoy them. And as I mentioned, I will link them all in the description of this video. If you like this video, please consider liking it and subscribing so that I can get more information like this out to you and to people just like you. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.